Yeah.
Ok. Bun. Am ajuns la al cincilea.
Yeah, this one is very tactical.
Mai
This
puțin,
game.
mai puțin.
Cu albul, da. Scetinin, yeah.
Asta nu prea sună rus. Nu prea sună.
Rus era, da.
Da, dar nu prea sună Scetinin. Dar mă rog,
Nu știu, dacă nu era rus, era ucrainean, dar oricum,
din zona aia.
de-al lor așa, da, cum să spun. Pe vremea aia erau prieteni, nu ca acum, știi?
Da. Or să fie din nou prieten.
Păi da, dar le-a distrus țara între timp, cum să zic.
Da, așa este. Alright, so you play here against...
again in Biel, the big open from Biel. And
Alexander.
I played against the Soviet player Scetinin, who has,
But at the time it wasn't Soviet anymore, 1997.
yeah, okay, Russian, let's say. Russian or Ukrainian, I don't know. And of course he tried, he played also with black. It's very nice. He could show something. Here, of course, he's not forced to play b5. b5 is very, very unclear, you know.
But is a gambit or what is it?
It's a gambit, yes.
Yes,
It's
okay.
the so-called Volga or Benko gambit, you know, for black.
Benko.
Yeah, Benko,
Okay.
yeah. Benko played first, of course, and the Russians wanted to show that it's their gambit, and therefore they called it afterwards Volga gambit, you know.
Okay.
And finally they found a way to to be happy somehow.
Benko is from which country?
Benko is from Hungary, but he was representing, for most of the time, he represents the United States.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and finally he came back to Hungary and he died in Hungary, you know. He's a very strong player also. So here we have a small different idea, because white doesn't keep the pawn. The usual way to do it is to take in a6, that you accept the gambit. Here you don't accept the gambit and you play yourself b5, b6, giving back the pawn and trying to play against the small weakness from b6 and from a5, you see. We tried to do it during the game. But he reacted very well, and the game will be very extractive, you know, very tactical also. So knight f3, okay, e4, what did he play? Knight queen takes, yes, queen takes, knight d2. The idea is very clear. White wants to come in c4 with the knight, you see, later on. So knight d2, knight d7, bishop e2, castle, no? Castle, and queen c7. Okay, so if now white played immediately knight c4, he reacted very well by playing himself knight b6. And it's more or less even, the position, you know. a4 is very good because you prepare this idea by playing first a5, controlling the squared b6, and then you come with the knight in c4. That gives a small edge for white. Here, if he plays himself a5, all the squares are weak later on, the square c4 and the square from b5, and therefore it's better for white, you know. So he has to wait, but he tries to have the immediate counterplay by playing after bishop b7, the normal move e6, opening the position, see. So, okay, bishop b7, a5, e6, right in time, you know, e6. So now you don't have time to take in e6 and play knight c4, because he comes immediately with d5, and is all right for black, you know. He has time to do it. So, right, knight c4. Knight c4. Now he takes, of course. Now you take with the pawn. Now it's very difficult to do it, something. You have to do something quickly with white, but he has time enough to have some counterplay with black, you know. It's not easy to demonstrate. It's like a king's Indian, you know, very open position. You have a weakness with black in d6. White has a weakness in d5, the so-called weakness in d5, you know. All right, so here, knight e5. He agrees to trade the knight in e5 because afterwards you can't push immediately d6 because you open the diagonal and the pawn from d6 can be weak, you know, it's not clear who is better. Okay? So, okay, knight b6 is the right move, and after knight b6 is a very tactical position because he comes with every piece on the other side, in center and on king's side, you know. So, right, bishop f4 is good. No? Knight d7, of course. Knight f4. You try to keep a piece on b6, see, if possible. All right, f5. He's trying to come on the other side, as I told you before. Yeah. And rook c1. Now it's very clear. White is preparing the strong move before. If you have time to play here before, for instance, is very good for white. But it's his move, yeah. So, okay, now he takes. Knight takes, and he goes away with the king, or with the queen, of course.
Yeah.
So now, before still, you have to open at any cost. You have to open. Well, of course, you gave the pawn, but you take back the pawn. It's no problem, But finally, we could open the position. White has something here, a little bit.
Why do you have to open? Just to have initiative?
Wait, if you don't open the position, he's trying already to play g5 and f4, and he has attacking chances on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah. So rook b1. Okay, after rook b1, g5, still b5. So now bishop d2 is move by move, in every position. So now f4, look. So now what to do? Again, you have to find, you have to play f3. By blocking the position, you don't allow him to come very quickly on the king's side. And finally, later on, you have a good idea to come with a piece on e4. If you arrive with a good piece on e4, it's always better for white. All right, so rook f7, he tries to arrive, to have something tactical. It seems that black has a good game, because the only piece that doesn't play for the moment is the bishop from b7. The rest are playing very well. All the black pieces are very, very well posted, you see. So, okay, rook e7. Now, if you allow him, he's trying to, in this position, he's trying to put the knight in g4, and this is clearly better for black, if he has time. The
knight here.
Knight g4 is the threat, you see. Why? Because he's attacking the bishop.
Yes.
And if you take in g4, after rook takes c2, is very unpleasant for white, you see.
Yes.
So again, you have to find the good moves here. So the best move is rook f2. Of course, you don't allow knight g4. Everything is protected, and he has to move something. Okay, knight f7 is good move, but now white has time to arrive with a piece in e4. If you come back to in e5, now after bishop e4 is clearly better for white. So king h8. He was a little bit in time trouble. He was a little bit disappointed, of course, that his attack didn't succeed. So, okay, has to wait 1 or 2 moves, it's enough. White is clearly better now, see. But difficult, it's not easy. So, rook c2. Of course, he doesn't have time to take the pawn there, and because the big diagonal will check and you lose the queen, so...
Sorry, say again?
He doesn't have time to take after bishop d4, rook c2 in b6. If he takes in b6, he's already lost for black. Because he can't take back with the queen, he loses the queen immediately after bishop c3 check,
Yes.
So, right, it's already unpleasant for black. Black he's worse in any position. So he has to go back with the knight there, and now it's clear. The bishop is good in e3, but we can trade the strong knight from e5. That is very important. So now black has no alternative, has to take in c4. So we take, and now look at the position. It's very good. He could double the rooks from e7 and e8, but he's doing nothing with the 2 rooks there. He doesn't threaten anything. The bishop from e4 stops everything. It's not enough. So now what to do? White is controlling every square. So queen d3. And from here we can say that we try to realize the advantage, for white. So, what is, well, he sacrificed the exchange to do something, to have something, tactically, somehow. So I took g4, okay, last hope, you say. And after bishop d2, everything is forced now. If he trades, the bishop is finished. If he goes away with the bishop, this is the last hope for him. Yeah. So now we have time to take in f4. Is already finished for black. Doesn't have any attacking. So, well, he took the pawn from a5. It's not important, here. So, okay, we took there. He took, we took back. And now the last hope, of course, if you take in f5, you get mated or you lose the queen.
Yeah.
I mean, and now after rook takes a6, he resigns. Yeah. Very tactical game, but very instructive. How to win a very, very unclear position like this, double-edged like this. He had something, white had something, very tactical, and finally white could win, you see. The white initiative was stronger than black's initiative, counterplay for black. Yes.
Yeah.
But in any kind of position in Volga Gambit or Benko Gambit, it's like this, move by move, very tactical always, you see. And here, okay, white could win, luckily enough. We're jokingly luckily enough, because white could demonstrate that
was prepared.
White's position is better, clearly better.
Nice.
Strategically, Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gheorghiu.
But look at the position. Finally, black has such a king, the black's king is very unsafe here, if you give one check, it's finished. You see.
Yeah.
But not only this, but he's changed down and he loses every piece in this position, for the final position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, nice game.
Thank you.
You're welcome.